Welcome to the Jump Finance Podcast. Today we have Kirstyn Garrison. She's world-renowned, world-famous high-ticket closer extraordinaire. Former Marine, former business owner, mother of two, all-around beast, almighty. So grateful to have you here. What's up, Kirstyn? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just happy that you're in town. We're talking, we're doing this, and ready and excited to talk about what we got going on.
Rock and
Our
roll.
new venture.
Yeah. Military Sales Academy.
Yeah.
Next mission.
Next mission.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're helping a bunch of people get into this space, high ticket sales, which we both care about deeply. We know that this space can change your life, and it takes some skill to get there, but it's a skill that I feel that everyone can learn. She feels that anyone can learn it as well, especially the military. So let's start off, Kirstyn. What was your first sales gig?
Man, so as you know, I was in the Marine Corps, did 4 years, and as I got out of the Marine Corps, I was lost. I was going through a divorce. I had 2 kiddos. My daughter was newly developing the type 1 diabetes. And I just said, man, what am I going to do for work now? Like, all I knew was how to be a Marine. That's it. I wanted to be a Marine for the rest of my life. But I got injured and I started working with a hypnotherapist. And crazy part is, while he was working on me, I reached out to him. I didn't even know about high ticket sales. And I said, hey, man, you sell your own product and it's kind of tacky. Like, let me sell it for you. Because I was so passionate about hypnosis and I knew that I could sell it because I knew it worked for me. A lot of times I used to get scared when I was younger, like, oh, I would never be in sales. It's so cringe, right? Sales is so cringe. Like, nobody wants to be that car dealership guy that does the used car sales and, forces you into buying something. And so, I wasn't really taught. I was just kind of thrown into it. And I think that's the best way to learn in sales, right? However, I've developed more with getting mentors and things like that. And so that's why I'm so good at what I do now. But first thing I always tell people, I sold magic. And if I could sell magic, I can sell anything.
You sold magic.
that's
you
really
sold hypnotism.
Yeah. It's the mind, but you can't see it, right? So it's harder to sell something you can't see. Yeah. Like, for instance, if you're selling real estate, there's real estate in the end that you're going to get, right? But when you're selling something like hypnosis, that's a mind shift. And, some people, it's hard to explain to them without showing them. So I would put people under hypnosis to get the sell done.
Ooh, that sounds like some voodoo magic.
Yeah,
absolutely. You put them under hypnosis. Okay, well, so you got into this space, high ticket selling, because with this person, Dawn, the hypnotist, where you're like, hey, man, this is a good product. I believe in this, but you're not selling it the right way. What kind of things did you change within his sales process?
Well, so John was really good at sales. He really was. I just thought, because for me, I viewed him as such a higher power, right? Like, why are you selling your own product? Like, let me sell it for you to separate, kind of like that doctor patient, right? So when I jumped into it, he gave me a little bit of a script, which was great. There was pre-framework, and then I just kind of filled in the blanks. And I would just ask questions to draw out the answers that I need to figure out what people's problem was. I was really good at selling to single moms, people that came out of domestic violence, things like that, because I've experienced those things. So I realized that I connect with people that are like me, right? And so those were the easier targets. Then at first, when I would sell to the rich older guys that were like usually white, right? I got so scared and I would freeze up. Like, It was the weirdest thing. And so when I reached out to Dom, I know, not anymore, right? Now that you know me, but I was like, Dom, I don't know why, but I'm like, I get so sweaty when I'm talking to these men that are older. They make more money than me. Like, how can I sell to them if I'm telling them to get out of their own way financially, but they're making like twice the money that I'm making? So he had to reframe that for me, right? And he had to explain to me, like, there's a block. You feel intimidated by these men and you shouldn't. Because at the end of the day, you are out of your way, but they have to get out of their way because there's new levels, new devils, right? So the way he explained it, he reframed it for me. He got me out of my own damn way. And now there's nobody that I talk to that makes me nervous or that makes me uncomfortable. Like, I can sell to anybody now. But I used to have this huge block of, oh my God, this guy makes a lot of money. He's smarter than me. I can't sell to him because my confidence, right? Because sales at the end of the day comes down to having that confidence.
Yeah. It's that transfer of conviction.
Yeah.
You have confidence in your product. You have to transfer that to the person. Because if they don't have confidence, then there's uncertainty, then people don't buy.
Right.
Yeah, it is hard for me to realize we're in that spot. But I see why you also like hypnosis, because Dom used it on you to help you get past that block.
And so the reason why I bring that up is that's why I believe that anybody can sell, as long as you have the right mentors that are going to guide you and coach you and teach you to be able to do these things the right way. And veterans, who better than a veteran? You know how much discipline we had? in the Marines and in the Navy, right? We were so disciplined. We woke up 5 o'clock, right? And we were up and we were out sometimes 12, 18-hour days.
Yeah, oftentimes longer. Military at the end of the day. Man, that you said something so powerful right there where you said anyone can do this, you just need the right guidance. And think like if you were in the military, right? You don't grow up as a kid thinking, oh, I'm going to shoot sniper rifles at targets 100 yards away. Maybe you do, right? Maybe as kids we watch a movie, but anything in life, to try to shoot a basketball, you have someone there coaching you. And talk about why you think that military would be good to teach other military. Such a complex topic like sales.
Right. I think like it has a lot to do with our culture, the way we all navigate together, our verbiage that we use, just the understanding and how to get that coaching that we need, right? So, I mean, Jay, let's be honest. I was decent at sales until I met you, right? And I was like, man, Jay, you're a go. I need to learn from you. And really what drew me to you was because you were also a veteran. So, you know, being able to communicate with you and giving me exactly what I needed when it came to, hey, I need a solid guidance on how to do this and I'll go complete the mission. But first I need to know an outline of the mission. And you were really good at showing me like, hey, here's an outline, now go crush the mission. And so once I had that outline and you kind of like helped me through some things, but it was all with like military verbiage, right? That made me think like, hell yeah, I'm fucking motivated now. Let's go. Yeah. So I was able to double, triple my numbers because of that little extra guidance. But to be honest with you, if I was trained by a civilian, I don't know that I would be this great.
Well, first off, thank you, Kirstyn. I appreciate that. That's a good shout out. That's a medal for me.
Yeah.
To help you get to where you are. Because, you know, I love you so much. You're a fucking ray of energy for me. And it just feels good for me to hear that. But I'll tell you why I train the way I do. And it's because I have had coaches who weren't military and many coaches that were civilian. I trained under a guy named Brian Choi. Shout out Brian Choi. He was in the Korean military. And he taught me almost with this Asian father-like discipline where it's like, you have to do this, you have to do this. So it was militant. He had the military background and he had the very strict Asian, you need to be a doctor type of thing. That for me was a big click, but there were some complexities there. And I just thought, okay, how can I make this more simple? In the military, we follow typically some type of, we call it MRCs, maintenance requirement cards in the Navy, where it drills down every little dumb thing. It's like, okay, turn the screw this way, use this much torque. So that's what I try to do because I believe that sales is mechanical. We had this discussion a little bit before this, where yes, you can have the gift of gab. You can be a natural salesman, but I also believe you can learn a lot of these things. Do you believe that how much of sales is mechanical? How much of sales is charisma, the gift of gab? How much is it that?
I think the mechanical is probably about 80%. And then the gift of gab is 20, right? Because you can put somebody that has no personality in sales and teach them how to have a personality. But obviously the gift of gab, if you already have it, you're already 20% ahead of the game, right?
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, because the gift of gab is really not just being able to talk and captivate. It's really about reading the other person and knowing what to say and when and how to enhance those feelings they're feeling in order to get them to buy. The mechanical stuff, honestly, the mechanical stuff is going to be calling your leads, sending them a prospect primer, having a conversation beforehand, like little things, not letting leads go cold.
Right.
Simple things, right? How do you feel like you can increase your ability to have the performative side, the charismatic, the gift of gab, as we're saying? How do you increase that? How do you get better at that?
You just got to do it. And you got to keep doing it and keep doing it and then reviewing your videos and have that mentor that's going to tell you, hey, this is where you're fucking up. This is where you got to get better, right? Because how are you going to know where you're making your mistakes if you're not reviewing your calls, if you're not educating yourself on what you should and shouldn't do, asking those right questions, dragging the problem out of the client so that we can have a solution? Because that's what sales is. We're solution based, right? We're not just trying to sell people. Like, no, we want to fix your problems.
Yeah. Without a problem that surfaced, there's no solution to be bought.
Right.
So you have to extract the problem out. Ooh, that's good. Okay. So you coach reps. You've been a sales manager before. When people are trying to do it by themselves, which we've seen reps that are like, they don't ask for help.
Right.
What have you seen from the people that are trying to go solo bolo? Like they're trying to get better by themselves or maybe watching YouTube videos. What have you seen as far as their advancement goes?
It's slower. And the problem is they talk too damn much, right? So on a call, they're taking over the conversation instead of actually listening. So if you're not taught that, you're assuming that's how I'm going to close the deal. So I'm just going to talk till this person wants it. And that usually doesn't work. Depends on the buyer, right?
Yeah.
But typically, if you're talking too much, you're already losing.
Oh, yes. Because they don't believe a fucking word you say.
I know.
You have to get them to say the words.
Right. And why do you got to get them to say the words, Shay?
It's because they believe the words that they say. What comes out of their mouth is truth. Whatever comes out of your mouth is taken with a grain of salt.
Right. And then you're pushing them to say what their problem is and how and why they need your help. And then they're now convincing themselves, oh, shit, I need this. And you're not really having to do any convincing because you're just drawing it out of them.
She's talking about self-selling. How do you get your prospects to self-sell themselves? Magnificent. Well said. Okay. One step back. Why should anyone even get into sales? Because it is something that you mentioned is cringy, right? What is the big payoff for people to get into this space?
So for me, and for a lot of people that are like us, right? When we're in the military, we didn't really have a lot of family life balance. We weren't allowed to have it. It really wasn't an option. When you had to go, you had to go, right? You had to work long hours. I know for me as a single mom, I didn't have a lot of time with my kids. And I started to feel that guilt, like, damn, I'm not hanging out with my kids. I'm not doing things with my kids. And then you get into a 9 to 5, and now you're also drained by that, right? I wasn't home for the kids. I had to rush to go pick them up from school. I had to go do all these things. Now, once I got into the high ticket sales space, I realized like, oh shit, I work from home now. I can go pick up my kids whenever the hell I want. I am in control of my calendar. I can go take my kids to Hawaii, which we do often, and work from Hawaii. I can go all over the world with my kids and still make money. And so for me, that was my flex is I want to be in charge of my calendar. I want to be in charge of my time. For me, yes, seeing these guys on high ticket sales that are driving the Lambos, the Porsches, and all the cool stuff, that's cute. I'm not saying it's bad. But for me, it's about my time, my energy with my kids, and being able to do whatever the hell I want to do, whatever the hell I want to do it.
You're not going to impress Kirstyn with a Lambo. She's got enough money to get it. So, fellas, by the way, she's not on the market. She's not on the market, but either way, Lambo doesn't impress you. She wants freedom. And that's honestly why I got into this space as well. I'll say, though, that the process of selling, it's addictive, where I tend to go back to the other side and not have the balance because I just want to take calls and I want to make money. Yeah. But now you've been able to have the time, location, and money freedom. Let's talk about something that a lot of people are interested in, of course, the money aspect.
Right. And I will say this though, Jay, like when you first get into it, you got to work 7 days a week. You got to get those repetitions in to get really good at it, right? Yeah. And then after a while, like I would say 6 months to a year, hey, now we're backing off of our calendar and we're finding that work-life balance. Unless you're younger and you don't have kids and you just want to work because you have some goal that you want to hit, that's okay too. However, there's this thing called burnout, right? And we've both done there. I've burnt out and I'm like, okay, now I need to take a week off and reground myself, get some breather room, and then I go at it again. But that's why it's better to find balance instead of burning out.
Yeah. And also that ramp up, the 6-month ramp up, 6 months to really learn a skill that impacts you for the rest of your life in comparison to a 4-year degree that you're not even going to use that piece of paper. Well, possibly most people don't. Right. But 6 months of solid hard work and effort to change your life and learn a skill set that impacts you forever. I mean, that's a route that I would choose any day.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the financial part, though. A lot of people would be interested in that because, with the rising cost of every fucking thing, salary staying just about the same, but cost of living going up. Let's talk about what was your biggest month? She's had some really big ass months, by the way. I mean, so this is a bit of a pointed question.
My biggest month was probably 50,000, and that's like all gas, no brakes, right? And there's people that do way bigger numbers than that. But again, I do have that work-life balance because I have kids. I can't take calls for 15 hours a day. Yeah. So I know people have surpassed me in that way. But again, like $50,000 a month, it does take a lot more energy, but you can also get higher tickets where it doesn't take that much energy, right? So it just depends on what you're selling. I geared my things that I like to sell for things that I actually wanted to sell to people because I care about people. I wasn't going to sell them something if it doesn't work. So I was really, really driven to always selling items that I would actually buy myself. There are higher ticket things out there where people can make a lot more money than $50,000 a month. But for me, like that was a big deal for me. I mean, shit, doctors don't even make that, right? So
50 racks in a month, that's huge. That's big. That's life-changing income for anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah. So as an offer owner, when I've sold my own offer, my biggest month was $36K in 2 weeks. That was a month, but really only selling for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That was in Thailand.
Yeah.
This was crazy. Living in Thailand, making 36 grand is like, holy shit. I don't have to work anymore for a couple months. And then when we did the author jump, paid her 72, 73, something like that in about a 2-month period.
Yeah.
I got bogged down in fulfillment and I went back to commission-only sales. Once I got back into commission-only sales, though, my highest month was around 22. It was like 21 point something, but 22.
Yeah, a ton of money though.
It is a fuck ton of money. I think about top 10% income in the U.S. is right around 150,000. This is a single person, by the way. Single income household is 150K. Now, if you think you're making, let's say, average 15K a month, you're there. You're in the top 10%. That label in itself is super achievable in this space, high ticket sales, without the need for a college degree. You just need to have some grit for that period of 6 months to a year with some, of course, mentorship to show you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong.
Right. And getting that mentorship, it doesn't cost what a degree costs. And you're going to make a shit ton more money. So yeah, go and throw that money at your mentor. Go ask for guidance because your return on investment is going to happen within a couple months.
Let's talk about this real quick because we both sold mentorship, we sold coaching programs. This is almost to me like the new age of education. Because yes, if you're in the military, you'll have the VA loan or the post 9/11 GI Bill. You can go 10 to 4-year degree. It's going to pay for that. But in this space, mentorships we've sold anywhere between 5,000, 15,000. And that mentorship goes maybe 6 months, maybe a year. And then you have a skill set that you use to make more money. I mean, compare the two. Like, do you believe that this type of coaching, mentorship, do you believe that this is the new age of education?
100%. 100%. I got 2 teenage kids that I'm like, hey, if you guys want to go to college, cool, but I'd rather hire you guys mentors. So let's start thinking about what you want to be when you grow up, because I'd rather hire you mentor after mentor after mentor, figure out what you want to do because your return on investment is so much more there. Now with a bachelor's degree, it's hard to get a job, right? With a bachelor's degree, that takes 4 years of your life, sometimes 6, depending if you go community college first, right? And then on top of that, what is the salary? 65 to 75,000 a year. And I'm talking about San Diego, California, where making that kind of money, you better be married or you better be in a relationship or you better have a sugar daddy because that ain't enough money.
It ain't that 10%. That's all 10%, that's for sure. You ain't starting there. But again, in this space, we both love this space because we've seen it, we felt it, we've had the impact change for our lives. And then also, when you do get in this space, it is hard, but the lifelong effects, the lifelong benefit. Now you have a skill set that you use not just in your career. How do you say that sales impacts your life outside of just on the Zoom call?
I mean, I'm impacting other people's lives too. It's not just my life. Like, yes, I'm making the sale, but I changed that person's life too, right? And then, the people that we've coached in sales, and think about all the lives you've changed by just showing them one skill set.
Oh, fuck, it's so gratifying.
It is. And it's like, money's great, but for me, it's helping people, right? That's my big passion. And I think that's why we joined the military, to help our country, right? I got into hypnosis because I wanted to help people. Everything I've ever wanted to do is to help people. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing in sales. That's why I never feel like I'm selling. I feel like I'm coaching. I feel like I'm navigating you into the right direction to help you solve your problem.
It's interesting because on a Zoom call, I don't call it selling either. Because what we're doing is we're reframing somebody's lifelong behavioral patterns that have got them stuck. It's almost like mental warfare in a sense. It's like you have to spot their behavioral patterns that got them in a position where they have a problem, and you need to get them in a position where they're actually open to a solution, taking action on it.
Right.
There is a belief there, or a limiting belief, why they haven't solved the issue yet. So they're looking for help. And you have to be able to reframe and change that on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
That is the performative side.
Yeah. You have to be an engineer.
And the mechanical side to that conversation is you have to hit certain points on the checkbox before we even offer the sale.
Yeah.
So for you, Kirstyn, I'm curious, you've had mentors that have gotten you to this point. Are you still working on your salesmanship ability still?
All the time. You never stop, right? Once you get to one level, you want to continue to grow into that next level. Not every mentor is a great mentor, but you'll learn from that, right? So I've had to reframe from a lot of things that I've purchased because you connected with the person, but then you realize, damn, I think I know more than this guy knows, right? And that's okay because you still take pieces from that and then you transition them into your sales process and then you level up again, right? So I do believe that you should never stop learning in this field.
Yeah, and it's good too because if you enroll with a new mentor or a new coach, it's a faster iteration than 4 years
Mhm.
and then realizing I don't like this.
Right.
You spend a little bit, 5, 10, 15, whatever case for a mentor to learn something new. And then you can iterate because in 6 months you realize, okay, I don't like this. I can iterate again 6 months later.
Mhm.
It's much faster than 4 years at college.
Yeah.
So that's also another benefit too, because you also learn things you don't like.
Mm.
You learn how to do some things, you learn how not to do some things. And that's how it helps you craft your own style, fits your personality, and then therefore your income, your life, everything goes up, ideally.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Jay. Before you got into sales, did you feel like it was cringe?
ooh, yes, I would say yes. But then, okay, I got my first real stint in sales was actually network marketing.
Mhm.
It was called World Financial Group. I was selling insurance and I was in a really good job. I was working as an aerospace engineer. Before that, I was working at a company called Raytheon. My military experience got me into Raytheon. Raytheon got me into aerospace engineering. Every step along the way, I felt like, man, this is just not it. This is not it. Being attached to a computer, even though we're attached to computers now,
Yeah.
walking into a corporate setting, I was like, nah, this is just waste of life.
Yeah.
Met some cool people, sure. I'm not going to discount any of the relationships I met, but then also like once I got into selling, it did feel cringy
Mhm.
because network marketing is recruiting people.
Yeah.
Right. And that you've had experiences where people are like trying to recruit you into some things and then almost automatically like, don't talk.
Turned off. Yeah.
That's almost like an automatic. But I pushed through that because you could call it a bit of hypnosis.
Mhm.
I drank the Kool-Aid
Yeah.
and I just pushed through it. I got through those limiting beliefs, my
Right.
internal limiting beliefs.
Mhm.
And then I started to reframe it, as you said, like now I see that as I'm helping people, giving people opportunity. And then that's how I essentially worked through it. And then I qualified for a world trip. And I was like, fuck, everyone can do this.
Right.
And then I saw it is possible. You just have to get over that cringe.
Yeah.
It's almost like your initiation. It's like,
Did anybody help you get over that cringe, or did you have to do it by yourself?
well, I had the mentors inside the company. Yeah.
See, but I think a lot of people don't get those mentors and they try to jump into sales, and a lot of people quit, right? You
No,
think
for sure.
that has a lot to do with it, is not having somebody to guide them and help them overcome those limiting beliefs.
Yeah. Because if you get in sales, at the end of the day, you can't force anyone to buy. And if your income depends on people buying, a lot of times it's easier just to say, man, sales is hard, sales sucks. Point fingers at anything else but yourself.
Yeah. It's everybody else's fault. It's
Yeah.
everybody else's fault.
It's everyone else's fault but me. But that is just a limiting belief because there's people that are making money, making pretty good money as well. And they don't feel any bad about the cringiness because they see it as I have something to offer that can help people. This is what it costs to get it.
Mhm.
And they just go on about their day selling, finding the people that want them and doing their thing. It can be cringe if you let it be cringe, but there's also a lot of good benefit. Like, I mean, how much things do we get sold on all the time?
Right.
We buy ideas, we buy political views, we buy all these things, not necessarily with our credit cards, but we're always buying, we're always getting sold to. It's not cringe to share conviction.
Yeah.
Share opportunity you feel like is really going to help people.
Right. Especially when you have passion for something, right? It makes it so much easier, like sales. So let me ask you this. We're doing this Next Mission Sales Academy that we've launched together. Why do you feel like someone like us, veterans, would be really good at high ticket sales?
Oh, fuck. Because, okay, I agree with you. I think most of this is mechanical.
Mhm.
And I think military, I mean, there are bad players in the military too, but most of us are pretty fucking disciplined to the
Mhm.
point where we hit our check boxes.
Right.
Because otherwise we get in trouble and it's just ingrained in us to do, okay, I got to do this, and this. When this situation happens, it's easy just to go do this. It's almost like instinctive.
Mhm.
We've trained that in ourselves. We have that muscle memory. Now, if you could apply that muscle memory towards this crap like sales, then it gets you to that point where you're actually really good in very little time if you can do the mechanical things. And which, again, we believe that it's mechanical. So like, if you just do your shit,
Yeah.
you'll close some
Get it
deals.
done.
You'll close some deals. Don't overthink shit. Don't think twice to dial because you're afraid what the other person's going to say or do. It's just a person. These are people. We've been in combat. It's not a big, scary monster. It's just a human being. You can have conversations. At the end of the day, it's just a conversation.
Right.
It's also a conversation that you get to have 1,000,000 times and the
Mhm.
prospect has once.
Yeah.
So if you think about it that way, you will get good at having
Yeah.
that same conversation.
Over and over again eventually,
Yeah.
right?
The principles are the same. And then once you learn what's happening underneath that conversation, you can apply those to selling your ideas, selling the next date. influencing your children. You could sell those ideas. Again, it's a skill that reverberates outside of just a sales call.
Right.
But yeah, so your question was why I think military would be good at a skill like this? Because again, it's mostly mechanical. We're fucking good at the mechanical stuff.
Right. And why do we want to have veterans?
Oh, because they're us. It's you. It's me. You know, when you get on a sales call with a veteran, it's almost like we have this unspoken brotherhood, unspoken sisterhood. We take care of our own.
Right.
So yes, I actually went down the route of, okay, I'm going to go to school. I used my Montgomery GI Bill at the time. Then post 9/11, I did that route because I was hypnotized as a kid.
Right.
Get
School.
Yeah, get your degree. It landed me in what I mentioned earlier into a job at Raytheon, into aerospace engineering, where I was miserable. Took all of those experiences. And I don't know, I wish I could have compressed that time. I wish I had discovered mentorship sooner. That you could go out and find a mentor that you admire and then actually have access to that person and learn from them faster. Took me a long time to find like those ads that we see.
Right.
And I enrolled with my first mentor, but it took me a long time to do that. Had I known, I probably would have compressed that time and skipped Raytheon, skipped aerospace engineering, and just gotten to this life I'm living now much sooner. Yeah. And if we could help veterans do that, fuck, why not? Yeah. They'll be good at it. Right. Right? Yeah. They'll be good at it. And plus, if the VA can help them, I mean, it's almost a no-brainer decision. They can iterate faster. Right. They don't have to dedicate 4 years to college. See how mechanical it actually is. Get some quick wins. And then dive into your skill set a little bit more and get fucking lethal at this. And then make $20K a month, $50K a month. Right. Change your life. Change your life. In a short period of time.
And the truth is, you don't know what you don't know, right? So if you've never done sales, if you don't know anybody in sales, I mean, think about all the people that we're friends with that are veterans. Think about what they do for a living now that they got out of the military. I have a lot of friends. They have integrity. They're freaking smart as hell. They have motivation, but they're working at like fucking McDonald's. And I'm like, oh my God, you went from being a fucking badass Marine or sailor, and now you're working at McDonald's. I'm not saying anything against those workers. I'm just saying all the time and energy that you put in being in the military, all the sacrifices you went through, you deserve to make more fucking money. So high ticket sales is something that you could totally get into, do that, and actually be proud of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So high ticket sales, right? Is this space high ticket sales going away?
Fuck no. It's only growing. Like, I feel like when I got into it, it was brand new, but no, it's been going on forever, right? It's always going to be there too. New things are going to pop up. You're going to need more people that are going to be able to do it. Everybody has a niche, right? So it's like, if you're good at that specific niche or something that you love, they need you, right? So it's never going anywhere.
I've been in high ticket sales since 2016. Back then, it was the Wild West. It was not as available as it is now. But in 2016, I was reading off a 15-question script, closing. I made $36K in 2 weeks. It's crazy. But now, since COVID was a big catalyst for this space. Right. Because no one can go to school. Like, we're all stuck. And then all of a sudden, you have also social media fueling this. Yeah. You have influencers and people have gigantic followings, experts in whatever field, and you want access to them. Right. As more and more people get into this space, as we get into the content creator economy, it's just more and more opportunity. Right.
And why would you rather coach a veteran than a civilian?
Oh, because you can be hard with them. You can be hard with them. You can tell them exactly where they're fucking up, and they'll take it and be like, okay, got it.
And then fix it, right?
Yeah.
And then they learn fast.
They're not going to be all up in their feelings. Like, right. Fuck, man, Jay's mean. Because the client...
this ain't for the weak, right? Sales is not for the weak.
Yeah. You build the armor. Okay. You build the armor over time. But being from the military, you already know you have a certain level of armor where I could tell you, hey, man, why'd you say that? Right. That's wrong. Right. You caused this, you did this, and then you could be more direct with veterans. We prefer it that way.
Send it to me straight.
Not all civilians are like this, but you kind of have to pussyfoot around it. Right. Like you and I were talking regular, like we're friends right now. Some people might be turned off like, gosh, they're saying bad words. I don't want that person coaching me. Veterans would probably listen to this and be like, you know what? I want something like that telling me direct where I'm fucking up, what exactly I need to do, what exactly I need to say, this part of the call, before the call, after the call, all of these things. Give it to me easy peasy so that I can just execute. Right. Right. And then tell me when I'm fucking up. Veterans are like that.
They're just easier to work with. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Anytime I've bought something on a high ticket, it's easier for me to say yes to a veteran because I like to have that integrity too, right? Like, you're not going to lie to me. we served. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a little bit different. Like, I appreciate veterans. I love working with veterans. And it's just, I feel like we're on a different level. Nothing against our civilians. We love our civilians too. I just think that, you know, they deserve to be in this space to go make a shit ton of money and have their freedom back. Because we are fighting for our country to give everybody else freedom. So now it's time for them.
You fight so hard for your country. Like me, I deployed 3 times in 6 years, which in comparison, my dad did 20 years and he deployed 4 times. So I was a sea-going motherfucker. I was always at sea. And then to come to a job where I'm going there, sitting at a desk, and I'll tell you this funny story. I worked at this company, a big defense company.
Yeah.
And I built this department because I didn't know how to print t-shirts. I built this department where we printed on the panels. That process of printing on the panels, like imagine a panel like this, and then there's the on switch, off switch, this dial, like all the markings on that panel. They used to outsource that, multi-billion-dollar company. I saved that company millions and millions of dollars. And you know what happened? That was my 3rd month. They had a meeting and they said, hey, how long have I been wanting to do this? This guy comes in here in his 3rd month. He's able to build this department. He's got all the machines here now. He's taught us how to do it. They rewarded me with a $5 Walmart gift card.
$5 Walmart gift card. Oh my God. I want to slap in the face.
I quit the following week.
Oh.
I quit the following week and I was like, I'm going to just print t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because I was printing t-shirts for my backyard, right?
Yeah.
Like a little side hustle. And then I was like, what the fuck? You should have just not even give me the...
Not even the gift card, right?
The praise was
That's
good.
more of a slap in the face almost.
That's exactly how I took it. I just wanted to be appreciated, which was nice.
Yeah.
Until he's going to get one of these to take home. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Thanks for a candy bar at Walmart.
Oh my God. And then that's where I kind of knew. I was like, man, I need to get into something where my income is more of a direct reflection of the impact that I provide.
Right.
Entrepreneurship is one way to do that. Similar to our space, high ticket sales, because you make how much you close, right? Typically, it's commission only. So if you want to work a lot, then you get paid a lot. If you don't want to work, you're not going to get paid as much. But it's all dependent on how much impact you make.
Right. So that's really where the reward, other than the money, that's where the reward comes from, where you're not getting a pat on the back from like a CEO or anything of a big business, but you're getting a pat on the back from the clients that you signed up, that you're changing their lives. I mean, I've had people call me and tell me, like, when I was in the high ticket sales space for hypnosis, Kirstyn, you saved my life. Like, I was thinking about contemplating suicide just yesterday. And the shift that you gave me, I'm excited about life again. And hearing those stories, it's what makes you want to keep selling to people and helping people, right? Or even just helping people make more money. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's definitely impactful, the work we do for our clients, for ourselves, and then for also the people that are doing the coaching, the mentorship, of course. They're helping more people. And it's just, I like to think about it like this. There's a saying in the military where you save yourself, your shipmate, your ship, and then your country.
Yeah.
So I think about it as like, if you get yourself right, then you impact the people around you, your friends, your family, your community, your city, your state, your country. It all starts with you.
Yeah, it does. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like going to a personal trainer that's fat. Would you go to a fat personal trainer?
I don't think so.
I would.
It could be something else.
Nah. It's like, know who you're working with, because at the end of the day, you want your mentor to be somebody you want to be when you grow up. Right? You want your mentor to be somebody that has the same morals and characteristics as yourself. You want your mentor to really push you to those next levels. So it definitely has to be somebody you want to be when you grow up. Right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Don't take love advice from someone who's single. Don't take health advice from someone who's out of shape.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of the blind leading the blind. People who sell crappy offers, for example. We sold offers before where it's like, man, I don't feel like I can sell this.
Right. And then you got to back out. There's also a lot of different type of salespeople out there, right? Like, there's the guys that they're hard sells and they're aggressive. There's people that are very passionate. There's people that are calm sellers. There's people that are high energy. So there's also that too, right? Like, it's hard. Like, for me, it would be hard for me to work under somebody in high ticket sales that was very, very demanding, or, kind of aggressive. Like, I wouldn't be able to work with somebody like that, right? But then there's people that are calm. There's people that have high energy. They're motivating. And those are the type of people that I can relate to and I can work with.
That's because that's you.
I know.
Yeah, you want someone that's similar to yourself that just brings you up a different level, doesn't try to change you, but just like amplifies what you already have.
Right.
Yeah. So Kirstyn, we're wrapping up on time. I want you to just end with the plans for next mission.
Yeah. The plans are really to really help as many veterans as we can and teach them this space in high ticket sales and get them really fucking good at it. Just like you're really good at being in the service, you're going to get really good at selling with us.
Yeah. Okay, good. I think your mission, I'm pretty on board with it. She told me her idea and I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what we need to do.
Mhm.
That's exactly what we need to do. Because I coach sales reps to get even better at sales. But we're going to take a step back, talk with people who are not into sales, that haven't gotten into this space, or maybe just wanted to explore it, and then show them the skill sets they need in order for them to be good, become a serviceable rep, that they can just enhance that and go further, take it as far as they want. But at least they can see whether or not that this is a real space for them that they can actually be successful.
Right. And for me, I think it's, in my opinion, I love taking newbies in that don't know anything about sales because I don't have to unfuck them. So it's a beautiful thing because we get to teach them our processes, how we do things from the ground up, and make them extremely confident on the way there. Because sales is not just, hey, here's a script, here you go. No, we have to help you with your mindset shifts too. We have to give you, the tools that you need to get rid of those limiting beliefs that you might carry with you. We're here to help you grow past who you are. And that's really how you get really good at sales.
Installing the habits right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Awesome. All right,
Much
Jay.
love. Thank you so much, Kirstyn, for coming. Appreciate the love. Appreciate your energy as always. And we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, cool.